Straight
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is expand your marketing efforts. Before we get into this, I remind everybody, send out daily motivation texts every morning, straight to your phone, free of charge, guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point. You want to get this message? You want to get this message. So text me at this number, 305-384-6894. And when I send out the next one, I usually send it out in the morning. So if you listen to this anytime after the beginning of the morning, then you'll get the next one tomorrow. My number is 305-384-6894. It is listed down below in the show notes as well if you missed it. Secondly, workonyourgameuniversity.com. That is where you take the next step in your work on your game journey. You get access to all of our courses. We have 37 courses there you can take at your own pace. And if you want to be coached by me, directly by me, not by another coach, not by someone that I send, but directly by me, while still available, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com and you'll see your options for taking your next step in the work on your game world. Getting into the topic here today, expand your marketing efforts. Now, you know that I talk about selling the thing versus doing the thing, about marketing your stuff, about understanding that being good at what you do, yes, to a certain point that does matter. I mean, after all, the show is called Work on Your Game, but it's also the game. Is not just doing the work. The game is also understanding what the game is. And the game is marketing and selling your stuff, not just being good at your stuff, because if you're good at it but nobody knows about it, then it doesn't matter. So you heard me emphasize many times here on the show that your main business is the marketing and selling of your stuff, not necessarily the practitioner, being a practitioner of the thing itself, the doing. So today I'm going to tell you some principles and ideas for expanding the marketing efforts of what you are doing in business, regardless of what you are offering. Whether you are, again, you could be working at a company, you could be a student at a school, you can be an entrepreneur doing your thing healthily in a healthy way. You could be an entrepreneur who's just starting out trying to figure it out. Anywhere, or you could be anyone who is anywhere in between, okay? Your marketing efforts do matter because if people don't know about it, then they can't do anything for or with it. Now, let's get into it. Point number one. Today's topic, once again, is expand your marketing efforts. Number one, people are not annoyed by relevant marketing messages. They actually appreciate them. Now, why does this matter? I'm telling you this because I've heard many people say this, and because I've heard so many people say it, I know many people are thinking it even though they have not said it. And here it is. A lot of people don't want to do too much marketing or selling, quote unquote, of whatever they're doing because you feel that you may be annoying or kind of burning out your audience by sending too many marketing messages, i.e. too many emails, too many text messages. You're always trying to sell stuff. You feel like you're doing too much of that people will get annoyed and they'll unfollow you or block you or get mad at you or mark you as spam or just stop liking you because you're trying to sell to them too often. And here's what I'm telling you, that is the opposite of that idea, or it challenges that idea. People are not annoyed when you send them a relevant marketing message. What's the definition of relevant? Something that they are interested in. You send a marketing message to someone about something that they are interested in, they will not be mad at you for doing it, even if they don't buy it. If you send me a marketing message about something that I'm interested in, even if I don't buy it, I'm not mad that you sent it because at least you're letting me know that you got it. At least you let me know that it's available to me. If I unsubscribe or block you or mark you as spam because you sent me a marketing message, let me let you know something. I was never going to buy from you ever, no matter what you did. That's why I marked you as spam or unsubscribed or blocked from you. So you should not have any problem with people doing that. So when I send out a bunch of marketing messages and a bunch of people unsubscribe from my email list because I sent out marketing messages, I don't mind. Why? Because those people were not going to buy anyway. Didn't matter what I said. So it's good that I sent those messages out because we got rid of them as quickly as possible. There are many times that I receive multiple messages about a product, event, service that I have no intention of buying, but I don't mind receiving the message because There are circumstances under which I would buy that product or service, maybe just not right now. So I don't mind you telling me about it, because at least it tells me, oh, you got that? Or I might buy that, but not today. I might buy it next month. I might buy it in 6 months. I might buy it if and when my circumstances are different. Maybe I don't need that product, but I like the product. But maybe my circumstances will change and I do need the product, just not right now. Also, I like seeing those messages because the person who is selling it or offering it to me, at some point they may say the right word or offer the right incentive that would get me to buy it, and click register, say yes to whatever it is. So as long as the message and the offer are relevant, even if I'm not going to buy, I don't mind getting the message. The only propositions that annoy me as a consumer are the ones from people who I have no intention of ever buying anything from under any circumstances. Those are the ones that I unsubscribe from and make sure I don't get their messages anymore, because I'm not a buyer. I'm not one of their customers. So for example, Nordstrom, the department store, I'm on their email list. I probably bought a suit from Nordstrom. I bought more than one suit from Nordstrom. So after I bought their suit, at least using my email address, I bought it online. They send me an email literally every day. Nordstrom sends a marketing email every single day. And they might send more than one a day. And who knows how many people they have on their list. Nordstrom, I would bet, has an email list of, it has to be in the 6 figures, probably in the 7 figures, number of people on their email list. And they send emails to everyone on their list every single day. Many of the emails I get from Nordstrom, I don't even look through the email. Sometimes I just open it or mark it as read and don't even go and read it. But I don't mind receiving emails from Nordstrom, even though I don't even read all of them. Why? Because I am a customer. I am a buyer from them. And at some point in the future, guess what? I'm going to buy from them again. I know that at some point in the future, I will spend more money with them. So I don't care that they keep marketing for me. And there are individuals who are in the space, people in the parallel lane to me, who send a bunch of marketing messages that I do not respond to. I don't click on. I don't actually do what they're asking me to do. But I don't mind receiving their messages because, number one, at some point I have bought from them. Number two, at some point in the future, I will buy from them again. And number three, just as a salesperson myself, I like looking at people's marketing messages, at least when they're good at it and they're creative, because I might get an idea. I might steal an idea from something that they did and use it for my own stuff. I do that all the time. So listen, even though I do have a lot of content, I come up with a ton of ideas, doesn't mean every single idea I pull out of thin air. Some of them I do, but some of them I just take what I saw somebody else do and make my own version of it, and it becomes my idea. Point number two. Today's topic, once again, is expanding your marketing efforts, or why you should expand your marketing efforts. Number two, increase your frequency. So I laid the foundation for this in point number one by helping you understand that people don't care about you sending them a lot of marketing messages about anything if they are actually a customer, because either they're thinking about it or they're allowing you to continue opening them up to the thing. They don't mind you continuing to work on them because they're warming up to it. They just haven't gotten to the boiling point yet. Get what I'm saying? Some people, you might have to warm them up on the idea of buying something from you for 6 months before they buy anything. Some people, they only need 6 minutes because they're in a different space for whatever reason. Maybe the person in 6 minutes has the money. Maybe the person who's at 6 minutes, they have an urgent need for what you're selling, and the person who's 6 months has no need for it right now, but 6 months from now they'll have an urgent need. So you don't know another person's situation, and there's a lot of things about other people's situations that you'll never know. That's why you got to keep marketing to them so that when the time is right for them, you are there, so that when they're ready, you're available. But if you don't keep messaging them, you don't keep marketing to them, when they're ready, they're still going to buy something. They're still not going to buy from you, simply because you missed your opportunity. So increasing your frequency here. Many of the messages that you send out, your marketing messages, that means your ad, your social media post, your email, your text message, your, what's the other things? Your DM, all of those things, your video you put on YouTube, many times they don't actually get through to the target. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is people don't actually see the message that you put out. Many of your messages don't get seen by everybody in your audience. So y'all all understand that, right? For example, on Facebook, I have 17,000 likes on my Facebook business page. I know for a fact, because this is how Facebook works now, is that when I post something on my Facebook business page, it does not even get shown on the feed of all 17,000 people who are liking my page. Meaning you could like my Facebook page, you could be a fan of my Facebook page right now, I could post a status update on Facebook right now, and your feed will never ever show that post. Even though you already liked my page and indicated that you wanted to see my stuff, Facebook won't show it to you. Why? Because what Facebook has done is they limit the amount of what they call that organic exposure any post gets, and they only allow you to get more exposure by paying them money. So Facebook basically created a paywall between you and your own audience. So when I talk about understanding how social media really works, episode 1690, this is one of the things that I mean. When you post something on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, any social media platform, your stuff does not get seen by every single person who is liking you, following you, subscribe to you, etc., etc. It does not. They show it to some of them, and then depending on what happens with the post, or depending on what you do, i.e. spend money, more and more people are able to see it. All right, so assume that anything that you post, people didn't see it. Assume they didn't get the text. Assume that your email went to spam. Assume that they opened the email but they didn't actually read it. Assume that they read it but they didn't click on it, so they didn't actually see the offer of whatever it is you're selling. Assume that just people did not see your message. Just act like it didn't even happen. Right? You send out a message for people to do something, act like it didn't even happen. And send them more than one message for the same idea, the same offer, or the same action item. I was talking to someone in my university today from when I'm recording this, and we were talking about, this person's in a service-based business. They're a consultant. And I was explaining to them that when they're initially reaching out to someone cold, who they don't know, and they don't even know if they're talking to the right person, that they should plan on following up 7 to 8 times just to get a response to the initial question, which is just trying to find the right person to talk to. 7 to 8 times. Why? Because you should not assume the person even saw your first email, let alone read it, let alone they're going to do anything with it. But if you reach out 8 times, then now we increase the likelihood that you actually get a response. This is how it works, folks. Why? Because people have other stuff going on besides waiting on hearing from you. All right, if they even are thinking about you at all, which 99% of the time they are not. All right, so assume that people didn't see your message, and send them the same message, not the same message, but more than one message for the same idea. So when you talk to people who do respond to your message, you'll often notice that they only notice the one message that they responded to. So I'll give you an example. I did like a flash sale for a course some time ago, and I sent the text message out at like 8 in the morning. And the flash sale will go from that morning to midnight of that particular day. So I sent out a text at 8 in the morning, then I sent another text at like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening about the exact same product. All right, so I got a flash sale. It only goes from now till midnight for you to get the product, whatever the product happens to be. And I sent out the morning text, and whatever happened, happened. Then I sent out the evening text, and somebody responded to the text around like 7 o'clock. And they were asking me about, hey, I want to get this product, but I got to do this and this before I get the product. I got to, put some money over here, there. And I'm like, all right, yeah, it'll be available, whatever. And this person said, well, Dre, damn, you only gave me 5 hours to buy this course, LOL. And that is exactly the point that I'm making. All right, this person's in my text community, so they got the text from earlier that day. I sent them the text at 8 in the morning, where they had, 12, 16 hours to make a decision. But they only saw the evening text, where they only had 5 hours to make a decision. They just didn't even see the first text. How'd they not see it? Who the hell knows? Maybe they're getting 1,000 texts from a bunch of other people all day. But it illustrates the exact point that I'm making, that you should never assume just because you sent the message to somebody that they got it. All right, don't assume that people are reading your emails. Don't assume that people are looking at your text messages. Assume that they didn't see it. Don't assume that anybody saw anything you posted on Instagram yesterday. Assume that they didn't even know that you're doing the thing. So if you have something happening and you only post about it one time, assume that nobody even knows. All right, act like that didn't even happen, okay? So to them, it's as if it never even happened, because it didn't. To them, it didn't happen. Remember that people are not thinking about you or your stuff. They're thinking about them and their stuff. So you have to interrupt them at the right time with the right message that gets their attention. And this may not always be the first or only message that you send that does the job. Right? Oftentimes people don't get it the first time. So be prepared to reach out more than once for the same thing. You should plan to do this. And number 3, today's topic once again is expanding your marketing efforts. Point number 3, think about it more. Yes, think about it. If you want to expand your marketing efforts, the first thing and easiest thing you can do right now from wherever you are is to start thinking about marketing more than you've been thinking about it. As I've already told you, once you have a baseline level of competence with your offer, whatever it is, your focus needs to shift to the selling and the marketing of your offer, the promoting of your offer, and making people know about your offer so they can take the desired actions towards having your offer. That's what you need to focus on, not just making the product better. It's get a good enough product. Tim Ferriss called it the minimum viable product. Well, he didn't call it that. He's one of the first people I heard say it. He didn't create the term, but minimum viable product, MVP. Once you have that in place, now focus on how do you sell it. How do you get people to actually have it? Because the more people have it, the more feedback you can get, then you can make your adjustments. All of these, anything you create needs to be promoted, pushed, and urged by you. You want people to know about your thing, you got to tell them about it. People are generally apathetic, meaning most people are generally in life sleepwalking in the monotony of their normal lives. They get into this cosmic habit force, and Napoleon Hill talked about this in the book Think and Grow Rich, cosmic habit force. People just get into this hypnotic rhythm. He also talked about this in Outwitting the Devil and the negative state. They get into this hypnotic rhythm where they basically just live this same life over and over again every single day for decades until they die. And they call it drifting when you're doing this in a negative way. And we call it cosmic habit force when you're doing it in a positive way. But either way, people are usually in a rhythm of doing certain things over and over and over again. So if the thing that they're doing does not involve you, you must interrupt their pattern, break their habit, break that cosmic habit force, and get them to pay attention to your stuff. Because generally their apathy is going to keep them from even noticing that you exist. So what you have to do is keep reminding people and reminding them again and reminding them again to go and do something different, which involves your stuff. People rarely do things that are outside of their normal routines on their own accord. Let me say that again. People rarely do things that push them outside of their normal routines on their own accord. They do not do it. People are creatures of habits. We just find a routine that works, that's comfortable for us, and we stick to it unless something about that routine changes or something interrupts our routine. So you got to take responsibility to move forward, moving people to action, because if you leave it to them to do it, they ain't gonna do it. That's pretty much what it is. All that said, let's recap today's class, which is expanding your marketing efforts. You heard me emphasize many times here on the show, your main business is marketing and selling the things you do, not just doing them. So let's talk about principles for expanding the marketing efforts of what you are doing, regardless of what you sell. Point number one, people will never be annoyed when you're sending them a relevant message. Even if they do not buy or don't plan on buying right now, they don't mind you sending the message because they like the reminder. They want to be reminded, oh yeah, you know what, that is something that I'm gonna buy. I'm just not gonna buy it yet. I'm gonna buy it when the kids get out of school. I'm gonna buy it when I get to that level in my business. I'm gonna buy it when the summertime hits. I'm gonna buy it when I have more money. I'm gonna buy it when this circumstance that I'm in changes a little bit. People want to hear those marketing messages, so don't feel bad if you're sending messages out and they're being seen but not being responded to, because people are just allowing them to drip, allowing the messages, that is, to drip on them. Number two, increase your frequency. Many of your messages do not actually reach the intended target. So people might not see your text, your email might have went to spam, they might have not even been shown your video in the algorithm of the feed that they go in. Assume that people didn't see your message. Just assume that it never happened to anybody who isn't mentioning it. Assume they didn't see it. So when you talk to people who do respond to your message, you'll notice that they only notice the message that they responded to. They might not even caught the other 3 emails you sent about the product. They only caught the one that they responded to. The other ones they never even saw. As if it never even happened, and to them it didn't happen. So remember that people are not thinking about your stuff, they're focused on their own stuff. So be prepared to reach out to them more than once to try to get their attention just once. Number 3, think about it more. You want to do more marketing, think about marketing. As I've already told you, once you get a baseline level of confidence, your focus must shift from creating to selling and marketing, to promoting, making things known, getting people to notice it, and all the desired actions that come with it. Anyone who needs to be prompted, pushed, and urged by you, that's everyone. People are generally apathetic, usually sleepwalking through their lives. You want to get them to do something different, you have to remind them to get them to do that different thing. Because people rarely do things outside of their normal routines on their own accord, save for any emergency situation. So your job is to take responsibility for moving people to action, because without you, they ain't gonna do nothing. All that said, text me. Tell me the best insight you got from today's class. My number is 305-384-6894. And go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where you can get access to being coached by me. You get access to all the courses. You see your options right there on that page. Again, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.